Hey guys, so today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I will be bringing back an OG episode of my channel, which is 5 best sports cards to buy this week. But before we get into that, I do want to say our membership program has been on absolute fire. Just around on July 4th, actually on July 4th's Platinum Report, we included Charles Barkley's Fleer PSA 10 for just around $8,200 is what the last sale was at the time. And in currently just around 2.5 months, less than 2.5 months, they're up to around $16,500. They've had a very steady increase since then. That's one of our many picks that have really taken off. This pick, our members made anywhere between 2 and 2.5 times their money on this pick. So if you guys would like to join in on the profit with our Sports Card Invest membership group, click the link down below to sportscardsinvest.com. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and hop right into this video. So the first card I have on this list that I believe is an incredible investment right now is Jamal Murray's 2016 Select. Obviously Murray had a very untimely injury, towards the end of last season, but the Nuggets are really looking like one of the most promising teams in the Western Conference lined up for next year. Despite their injuries last season, the Nuggets made it out of round 1 against the respectable Blazers team, who really gave them a run for their money, in a few games. And the Nuggets have a very strong young core, big three essentially in Jokic, Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. And I think if they can keep them around long term under contract, that's going to be a very scary team when they all reach their primes at relatively the same time. So I think given the fact that Murray has been, of course, injured for a while, he will, of course, be back sometime during next season. I think it's a great time to pick up his selects while prices are very, they're very suppressed right now. You can get some of Murray's best rookies for just a couple $100 right now. You can even find steals like this, like a Select Concourse PSA 9 for just $23. I think this is overall a very big steal, especially from what we saw from Jamal Murray in the bubble. We've seen that he, is not one to crumble up during the pressure. In fact, he really turns his game up during the pressure. So I think it's a great time to get into some Jamal Murray cards. He's flashed his potential. He's going to reach his prime in a few years. And I think now is a great time to get in while prices are very down. You have a lot less risk, yet a lot higher reward where prices are right now. You can get some of his most sought after autographs, on-card autos for just around $300, which I think is a very good buy in this market right now. But without further ado, we will hop right into our next pick, and we got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I believe a lot of his cards are great investments. For simplicity purposes, we'll just head for his Prism. But I definitely think Nickeil Alexander-Walker, will be going into next season. He's obviously shown some solid flashes of potential in his sophomore season, and, had a peek at what a larger role could look for him on a Pelicans team, without a locked-in front court. Towards the end of last season, Alexander Walker started to get some decent minutes from injuries, but he showed that he can really be a great option from a team. And now that there is a void in the front court with, Lonzo and Bledsoe gone, I definitely think we're going to see his talents this season. He's projected to be a starter as of now, and I think those minutes are just going to pile up to great stats, great potential that people are going to see in Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and I think, of course, being the cousin of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you have that component with family members, and you always get a lot more attention overall. But I definitely think Nickeil Alexander-Walker's cards are a very good buy. There's very low risk given how cheap they are, but I think there's good upside given he's finally going to have a chance to show his potential, to the fullest. And I think there's a good chance he really, exceeds a lot of people's expectations. But yeah, without further ado, we will hop right into our next pick, and that is none other than Kevin Durant. Sorry, I think we had a little mess up there, but yeah, Kevin Durant, and we're actually going with his 2008 Topps Chrome. After the Nets playoff elimination, Kevin Durant's cards dipped around 75% from their peak. However, as the offseason progresses and investors begin to buy into Kevin Durant's cards again for the Nets' high hopes next season, I believe that we will see a great demand again in Durant's cards, and we've already started to see that in Durant's 2007 Topps Chrome. That started to bounce back from its low, which I think is a great sign for the rest of KD's cards. Obviously, this is Durant's second year Topps Chrome, and it happens to be in the iconic 2008 Topps Chrome set, which will hopefully, begin to follow, Durant's 2007 Topps Chrome and see a solid increase in price during the short term, and will likely continue to see an increase in price as we approach next season. The Nets are still championship favorites and clear favorites to win the East, and I think Durant's cards will definitely heat up before next season, given Durant's chances for a third Finals MVP, which would of course be huge for his legacy. But yeah, without further ado, we're gonna hop right into our next pick. And we got none other than LeBron. I think all of LeBron's cards have been very suppressed recently, and have a great amount of upside, buying in right now. LeBron's one of those players who has a unique opportunity because he holds hardly any risk, but a great amount of upside, considering the Lakers have absolutely stacked their roster. They've got a great chance next season, and LeBron's cards are down basically 75% from peak almost. So I think there's a great amount of, upside, great amount of opportunity here. I definitely think people are going to get back into the championship favorites, especially Nets and Lakers players heading into next season. I think throughout next season, Lakers and Nets players' card prices will be on fire, considering they're just such clear favorites in each conference, and I think LeBron's the safest guy to go after. If you are one with a little bit more risk tolerance, I think it's a great amount of upside in Anthony Davis, and his 2012 Prism. He hardly has any other alternative, so all investors, when the eyes are back on Anthony Davis, when everyone wants the Lakers and Nets cards again, Anthony Davis's cards will definitely do very well in prices, and I think getting in now is a great opportunity, and especially because 2012 Prisms all investors go for. There was no real select base rookie card for Anthony Davis. There was no optic, no Donruss, no tops, no Bowman. So essentially, you got to go to his 2012 Prism, and when demand arrives, prices shoot up very fast. So I think he's a great option right now. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Once again, if you would like to go ahead and join us with our program, click the link down below. But without further ado, I'm out. Peace.